Hello friends, it's your favorite neighborhood nerd, Simone. And I'm sitting here thinking about what I want to do, what I want to ink in April. I don't really have a set, I'm not inking pens and all that jazz, but where's my paper that I was going to talk about? Well, I should have that one, right? There's some pens that I want to use. I haven't used the Leonardo Momento Zero yet. I have a new Walltown Watts, which is this one, that I'm liking the look, but I'm not really 100% sure if this is the one that I'm going to keep. It's a dark wine red, sparkly color. Well, now that I look at it, I feel like, oh, and so I have, no, that's not a Walltown Watts. Did I just say Walltown Watts? This is a Bone Crusher 7 Studios. I have my, maybe I should just ink them and then see where this goes. And then where's the Momento Zero? Here. I have this Leonardo Momento Zero that I want to ink. And then I have a Sailor nib on this Walltown Watts that I want to try out. So these are some of the things that I want to ink, but also I'm looking through all the pens from March when I shared my currently inked video, and they're all in here. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna turn the camera on and talk a little bit about my struggle and about the things that, like, I am really having a lot of trouble uninking any of these pens. This is the glass where I'm collecting all the pens that I'm going to clean. This one is empty. There is no more ink in this pen, so yup, I can, without any hesitation, go ahead and unink this. There's not a lot of ink in this pen left, and even though so many people love Tatsuya Sabi Midori, I don't know if I like this. And when I went away over the weekend, I completely forgot. I took some fountain pens with me, but I completely forgot that we would go high up over some mountain passes, and some of the inks just didn't make it. So some of the pens are quite dirty. So I decided I'm going to clean this Leonardo Momento Zero. But I just thought maybe we can go through and see. Yeah, so I went there and I said, oh, Diamond Red Robin, this looks really cool. If you hear noise in the background, this is Max. Well, actually, there's not much ink in here. So I think I'm going to clean this one out. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot. I bought a new Lamy too. I did not forget about it, but I forgot to order more Lamy cartridges. So I'm gonna have a problem with this. Then this one is also so nice. Haven't given this much use this month. So there's still, no, it's only coating the outside of the converter. So this is going to be cleaned. These are leftover pens that I inked in February. And how many inks were this? 17, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 19. Okay, they were 19 pens, and it was just way too much to keep going at the same time, especially with the amount of journaling that I'm doing, which is basically zero. The next pen that is here is the Pilot Custom 823. I have used this quite a bit. There's still ink left in here. However, the cap also got some leakage, so I will be cleaning the cap, but I think I'm just gonna leave this inked for now. My goal would be to reduce it and ink all of the other pens that I just showed you earlier. So I don't know. But I really like, this holds the ink well, it keeps it sealed quite well. So even if I don't use it much, I could still keep it inked. So this one gets cleaned. This one, is the Pelikan M800 in cream blue. It is inked with Kobe number 15 Myco green, but I think, or what it feels like to me, let's see. No. So I want to get out of this. I have to unink pens in order to ink pens. I want to get out of, I can only have this certain amount of pens inked and just ink whatever I feel like inking. And so maybe, and I wanted to go in order of these pens. Wow. That is so smart. But maybe I'm just going to leave this inked for now. And I'm trying to shove in my pens from here. And then just keep it inked because I actually really enjoy using it. So the Asvin V126 Transparent Clear is inked with a very fun ink. This is Color Traveler Sanuki Udon Gold. And even though this is not generally considered, or I am not generally considering this a play pen, I don't really enjoy journaling with it because there's such a high difference in color between the darker and the lighter parts. And so I'm just going to add this to my stash of colorful inked fun play pens, and we'll see what happens with this. And because I emptied the full sample in here, and I'm just going to use it until it's gone. Or until I just cannot stand this ink anymore. The Sailor Yoseka Pro Gear, I haven't used much at all. There is still quite a bit of ink left, and I was wondering, should I unink it? Should I not? If you hear noise, dog noise, Max is with me in my room, and he is supposed to be on place. Still quiet time for him, basically. So I'm just making him stay on his dog bed, but he's not very happy about that. So you might be hearing him in the background. I first thought maybe I should unink it, but then what if I just leave it and keep using it? The Waterman Koran I showed you earlier is empty, but this is really lovely to use. Then I talked about the Myco Green, the Skoxy Choya. I'm not sure if I don't enjoy the nib, which is sadness to me, but I recently showed or shared the Carolina Pen Company Convert model with you, and this nib is so fantastic, and I thought maybe I could give this a permanent home on this Skoxy Choya pen. Well, this is almost empty. So, well, I'm just gonna switch it around anyway. Even if at the end of the day, when I tried it out, I decide to unink it or clean it out, I'm still going to have this experience and see how I feel about this nib in this pen. I needed a glove so I can touch the nib as easily. I'm just gonna dump it in here, and then I am going to screw this nib in here. Yeah, perfect. And then I can put the converter here. I'm gonna prime it. And because, oh, cool, yes. So let me just screw this on here and see how I feel about this nib. Wow, I cleaned this out really well. I dip tested it. So it works nicely, but to be honest, this is a color that I don't really, I don't think I want to keep using this ink. It's not the pen, it's not the nib, it's the ink. This is good. This is helpful. The Pelikan M800 blue stripe with Sailor 50 States, California. Let's see if I took this with me as well. So I thought this did not leak for some reason. And I just really love how this writes. I don't want to unink this at all. So I'm just going to keep it. So for now we're at 3. That's good. That's good. And I would love to have good ink windows. This one is also, I think, needs cap rinsing for sure. I love this ink as well. I love how this writes. I need to give this a little bit better chance. Cap rinsing for sure. Then the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande, I showed you. There's not a lot of ink in this pen left, and I'm just gonna unink it. The same goes for the Troublemaker Starry Night Blue in the Pilot Custom 743. Yeah, there is still ink left for sure, but man, I don't know. I'm not a fan of shimmer inks in my journaling pens at the moment. So I'm just gonna let it go. I already cleaned out the Benu Gold Coast with Waterman Harmonious Blue. I have not used this at all. And I looked at it earlier and I said, no, you know what? I'm just gonna put it back into the pen case and see what is happening with this. Same with Wicked Witch of the West, Witch by Starlight. This is a shimmer ink as well, but this is very, very laid back. Unless there is no ink left. No, there is still some ink left. So I think I'm gonna keep this inked as well. There's quite a few pens right now that are coming up that I will keep inked. I'm also definitely leaving this Kobe number 56 in the Benu Gourmet pens, even though it's almost empty. But this would give me a good chance, like, you know, if I make a point of using this feels wet here. Is this ink or water? Water. If I'm making a point of using this, then I will be done with this fairly quickly. The Sailor Pro Gear Imperial Black with Diamine Lavender. I think there's also quite a bit of ink left in this. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave this. Oh, okay. Maybe I should just remove that stupid glove. Okay. And then the last pen, the last two pens is the Mayfair Noldor that I need to clean as well. There is ink dump here, but let's look at what the converter level says. Oh, this is almost empty. There's like just a smidgen left to fill the, so I can clean this out. And that is actually, so that is actually quite a good thing, because there's two things that I would like to do. Let's talk about this first. The Benu Pixie Honey Bronze with a Taxidermied Genius. There's still quite a bit of ink left. I want to give this a fair chance of writing, maybe use it in my journal. So I'm going to keep this one as well. Sorry for all the background noise. I hope it's not too prevalent in the video. If it is, please, if this annoys you, I totally understand if you click along. So, where's my paper? Not here. Why is this always so hard to find? Oh, it's right here. So, these three pens, I actually have 4 pens that I would love to use. Maybe I should ink them all up. Yeah, I am going to do that. Let me grab the last pen. And I'm also going to, I guess, film a little bit later on. So the other new pen that I would like to ink up is this Pilot Custom 742. I bought it with the intention of harvesting the nib from the pen, putting it into a JoWo housing and putting it on one of my JoWo pens. But when I got this pen and opened it up and looked at it, man, I really love this black pen with the cigar shape. I don't know. It's just so good. So, yeah. I want to film a new pen day video about this pen though, and I still need to clean it. Maybe I need to clean it first. No, I'm gonna film a new pen day video maybe today, and then clean it and ink it. So this is not something that is going to happen today. I also would love to find a new home for this nib. This is a Pilot number 5 medium nib. This was on my Pilot Custom 74. It has a JoWo nib unit housing now, and it did not work out on the pen that I had it on. So I'm not sure where this is going to go. I don't think this is something that I need to do today as well. I have a Sailor 21 karat gold nib on this Walltown Watts, and I really want to see how I like this nib unit on this pen. So I want to ink this one up. I really want to ink this up, but I think instead of using the JoWo nib that came with it, I got this second hand. I want to clean out this Monarch nib and see how I like the Monarch nib on this pen. I did, when I talked about this, I said that I didn't really think I liked how this Monarch nib worked on this pen, but to be honest, the more often I used it, and I used it more than I thought I would, the less an issue of it was. Does it make sense? I don't even know if I spoke correctly. So I want to ink this one up and put that nib on there, but I need to clean all of the stuff first. And then I want to put an ink into this pen and just use it as is. So I have 3 more pens that I want to ink today. So I have inks that I want to use. What time is it right now? It's almost 12. I need to leave soon. So the way that I do my planning or adding inks to pens is, no, do I want to put this in? No, I'm going to put this in here. The way that I usually do this is that I'm just going to quickly swatch big colors of the inks that I have in my pens, just so that I can see what type of color palette I have going on right now, and to see what colors I would love to fill up. I hope that makes sense. I keep saying that all the time. I love having rainbows. I think this one and this one are staying, right? Yes. So these are going to be cleaned out. Just the lids are going to be rinsed. I hope I still remember when I go to the sink to clean them. That's a lovely color palette. Not really springy at all. So I already did this. Then this is, I don't think I need any more blue, which is most of these inks are blue. But what I could do is put the Oku. Yeah, I already have an idea. There's a lot of purple. This one. What I think I'm missing is red. And I have a red on this list. I hope you can see that part of this list. There's more purple. And then this one is one of those lovely, this one. Okay, so I have 3 pens for sure that I want to ink up. Sailor Shikiori Okuyama. Give me a moment. Is down here. This one. I don't know if I want to keep this in my collection, and so I thought I wanted to ink it up, and I think maybe because what other reason than the color of the pen, this would work good. I also thought it felt a little dry, so if I use this with the monarch nib, that won't be a problem. So then I have a darker red. I have Diamond Honeyburst and Sepia. They're all yellows, but also Toasty Joggers is a yellowy color. Purple Writer's Blood is not something that I would want to use in here right now. I also have, oh yes, I bought the 2 new Lamy inks. So maybe I want to put them, the Lamy Sepia, and then here the Lamy, whatever the color is, Petrol, into these 2 pens. I can see that this could, or a Diamond Wagner into this one, and then the Sepia into this one. That would give me a lighter green in a pen. Yep, I think that's where I want to go. So I want to do this one with this one, and then the Sepia into this one. All right, I need to clean my pens before I can continue, so I will see you later. It is later in the day. I might have to turn on my light. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna just leave it on. I cleaned out the monarch nib so I can do this and ink up. I cleaned the 2 caps of these 2 pens just so that I can see how many pings are inked. Okay, how many pens are inked? That's 10 plus 3 is 13. It's still more than I would have liked, but as I mentioned earlier, I am not limiting myself just because it's a number. So let me find all the things that I want to find. Oh no. So let's swatch. Goes here. Let's swatch the Lamy Sepia ink first. Let's do this, right? Here is, everything works so well today for me. I'm just gonna use I don't have a paper towel here yet. Or maybe I have some down here. Yep. Last one. So I want to ink the Kintsugi with this ink. This is Lamy Sepia. And where's my swink now? I'm losing everything today, right here. Nice, it's a nice saturated brown. I want to film a video where I compare this ink to some of the inks that I have in my ink bottle collection. Specifically, I was thinking about, what's the name of the ink? Diamine Ancient Copper. I think this is enough. I know that this is not a full converter fill, but since I don't use my pens too much lately, I think this should be okay. Let's put this back here and then put the lid back on. Okay, well, that works. So this ink is, do I have something, writing board? Yes. This ink is Lamy Sepia, and this pen is the Leonardo Momento Zero. Kintsugi with a medium steel nib, and I really like how this ink looks in this pen. Yeah, I think a good choice. This is a really good medium Jowo nib. I also enjoy the weight of the pen and the feel of the grip section in my hand. Let's see how it performs with longer writing sessions. So first one is done. Now let's do the Okuyama. I purchased this ink at the San Francisco Pen Show in 2024. Dromgools did a buy 3, get the 4th one for free deal on Sunday. I'm not sure if they already did that throughout the show or or only on Sunday. But I bought 4 inks and I'm not really sure I should have done that because they're okay, but none of them really wow me, and like I should have probably gotten something else. Oh yeah, this one is really lovely. Man, I love this. This is so cool. Let me wet this. I usually just in case you wanted to know, I dip this in here and then I smear it on my towel. I have a rag next to me that is colored in ink, and then I just do this until it's clear and then I use it for the next ink. So what I need to do is take all of this apart. Wow. All right, this is okay. I just need to remove this here. And then let's see what this looks like with the monarch nib. Okay. The question is, where does the ink come from now again? Oh man, such inky hands. Wow. That's a super full fill. There's a lot of ink on this nib and on the grip section too. Ooh. Maybe you can see this here. There is a lot of paper towel. There's also a hair. Did I screw that into section? Seems like it. Okay, so body. let's put this on here. This is Sailor Shikiori. Okuyama. Yeah, this is so good. Okay, this is the Bone Crusher 7. Studios. I have no idea what this blank is, who made it. If you are watching this, who sold it to me, maybe you can, maybe you still know what the listing said. Maybe you wrote it down. That would be awesome. This, I'm just going to call it sparkly wine. And this one has the medium monarch nib. Yeah. Super wet, super lovely. I wasn't sure about this ink when I inked it in a pen before. It felt very dry, but in this monarch nib, it's performing really nicely. So I'm glad to add this. However, I thought this was going to be, it's more orangey if I put them side by side, but if I look at them here, they look almost identical. This is a taxidermied Genius by Waringool, and this is Sailor Shikiori Okuyama. And then the very last one, which might be something that could fail, and the reason I'm saying this is because Wagner, the diamine ink that I picked for this pen, is quite light, and depending on how much ink this nib puts down here, it might work for me or it might not. I filmed a video about this nib here. It is the Sailor Medium Pro Gear nib. Or you could also use a Sailor 1911 large, the bigger 21 karat nib size. And I put that nib into a JoWo housing and then just put it onto this pen. I have not used it yet, and so we will see how that is going to work out for me. So now I need the pipette. And then just gonna, yeah, I don't need anything more. I need to ink the pen. Put this up here. This is dangerous territory here. I love the vibrancy of the Wagner. It's so hard for me to pronounce Wagner. Actually, it's Wagner because Wagner is German and this guy that it's named after is German, Wagner. Let's just say it the way it is. You, instead of using the W, the English pronunciation, imagine a V for vase, Wagner. That's how we pronounce it in Germany. So I love the vibrancy of the swatch, but I have seen some written swatches of this ink and it might be too light. I think I mentioned this earlier. Now, the cool thing would be if I had a converter. Well, you know what? I'm just going to use the pipette and not the pipette, this syringe here. And then we can fill it up. Ooh, I need to make sure that when I'm dipping in the needle that I'm not tipping it over while I'm doing that. So I am just going to dip the nib into the bottle so that we can have some capillary action happening here. Ooh, that was bad. And then we can look at this. Because today is the end of March, I also want to update my, ooh, definitely, this is so cool. The feeling of ink. No, the nib, the unexpected nib that is on this pen is awesome. Okay, that was from the first dip. Now we need to get this moving here. Let's see if it works. Let's just dip this in here, make it flow. Another way to get it to flow is to put some here. See, there is some ink coming. Shaking it. Ooh, there we have drops. Now, let's see. I'm skeptical of this. Oh, there's still no ink flowing here. That's not good. I'm so impatient. Like, people put their pen's nib down into glasses and wait. Yeah, that is not me. I do everything in order to get it to flow right away. Now I feel like this is ink flow that is representative of how it should flow. So let's do Diamine Wagner. Yes, this is, wow, okay. If you've been with me for a while, you know that in the beginning of my pen journey, after seeing so many people talk about gold nibs and what would be the best first gold nib to try, I knew exactly that sailor nibs were not for me. And now I am all over sailor nibs, especially the sailor medium nibs for the Pro Gear Walltown Watts. Sebastian. With a 21 karat PG medium nib. And yeah, that's all there is to say about this. Oh my goodness, this is so nice. Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. There's a flower for you. Love this. So these are the new inked pens. Let me add a little flower doodle to this one here too. And then this one. Did I say two? I clearly cannot count as well. So I have these 3 newly inked pens plus 10 pens carrying over from the month of March and February. I did not ink any pens in March. So, I want to keep track of what I got in and what I took out of what happened in March, but this is not dry yet, so I guess I will have to wait for this for a little bit. Make these colors, put those colors down here. So This is one of my rainbow colors that I'm still keeping. I like this. I think it darkened a bit. It's SBRE brown. Green inks that I still have inked is this one. It's one of the Kobe inks, I believe. And then we have this one. I actually think, but I don't think, there is this really fine sailor nib. I do love the medium over the fine for sure. Let me put a flower right here. And then a flower right here. This is very similar. I did not expect this to be this similar. I also feel like it looks very similar to Sailor 50 States, Texas. Let me see if that is actually true. Island wood is redder. Texas, no. Texas is less red than sepia. Interesting. Totally off. This is Dominant Industry, Wonder Pens Ginger Chicken. No. And Ancient Copper, we can see here, is also, I think Ancient Copper is lighter, more orangey than this. All right, what else do I have? I have a lot of blue stuff still. I like this too. Then this is the dark blue things. We can, you know what I'm going to do? This is a broad nib. And then what else is there? This one. Oh, this is still wet. This is the Lamy 2000. Oh, this writes so nicely. Ugh, so good. So good. This is another broad nib, but it writes so differently than this one. And as you can see, I am just filling. And then here we have this. This is Rocco Shichidanka from Kobe. This is a really lovely purple ink. And then we're gonna do, this is Diamine Lavender. And it reminds me a little bit of Waterman Tender Purple. And then lastly, we have, and then we need to do the 3 newly inked. This is my Benu, what's this name? Pixie in Honey Burst with a really fun nib on it. It's actually a Kaweco double broad nib. I swapped out the nib and I left the housing and the feed from the Benu nib and then just shoved this nib in there and it worked. I wasn't sure if it was going to, but it did. Yay! And then we have here the Diamond Wagner. I feel like I'm still missing kind of an orange ink, but that's okay. I have this one in my Pilot Parallel. And then Let's do the kintsugi right here. And lastly, I'm gonna use the reverse so they're not super fat. Nice, I love this. Yes, I really like how these colors come together, and now it's still not dry. I used a lot of ink, I guess. I just don't want to soak it up. I'm just gonna, oh my goodness, look at this. I used this for the very first time today, and this is how it looks already. So we are in my March things. I have not written down anything that well, yes, I do remember things though. I just need a calendar and a pen here. So I received, what else did I receive? The Bone Crusher 7 Studios is in here, the Pilot Custom 742. I bought, this came last week. Do we need, is it necessary that I write down the exact date? Probably not. March 22nd, 2025 in Lamy All Star in whatever this color is with an extra fine nib. It's not really important what nib is on there because I'm swapping it out. And then 2 Lamy limited edition inks. Also today I have sorted out the pen BBS 3 something. Did I write it down? I don't know. It was Jinhao Purple. Was that even after then? Yes, pen BBS. With the mini foodie. This pen I have taken out. It's a 365 or something. Mini foodie. I liked the nib enough to maybe even get one of my Jowo nibs ground to this, but I just don't, the pen shape is too narrow for me to be able to use it well. So that means that it's not even on here. That's weird. It's right here somewhere. Pen BBS 323. Haha, there we go. I'm glad I found it. Gonna cross this out. And then I also, last time, I took this one out. So all of the other pens are still in rotation. And then I need to add the Lamy All Star that purple color. Rotation, 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 R, all of those. It's not necessarily important to keep track of what type it is. That's for another day. So now I want to add up all the inks and pens that I have, the total number of pens. So total number of pens that I currently own. Oh, I also, okay, I will do that later. That's then an April thing. Total. In, bone crusher 7, 2, 3, 3 out. I have the mini Fude and the Aswin 220 is 2. So that makes, I have 70 pens started with, took 3, brought 3 in, took 2 out, makes 71 pens. I am currently thinking about selling my Opus 88, this one, because I'm not really using it, and I don't have any more Pilot Parallels to use with it, and so the only pilots that I have, the Pilot Parallels are all in one size mini, so I don't really need it. So then total ink bottles, and that is something that I don't need to work on, but I just want to be conscious that I'm adding ink bottles in, and I'm not taking any out. Oh, that's not true. I gave away, yes, out, diamine, walnut. Now, this ink I have promised someone and I haven't sent it out yet. That's why it completely left my mind of inks. In 2 and out 1. That means that we are at 63 plus 2 is 65 minus 1 is 64 inks. I keep track of this usually offline, not sharing it with you because I don't think that it is important to know for you how many pens and inks I have. I thought I'd share it today so that you can see that I don't have a limit. I am acquiring inks and pens as I want to and as I see fit. And this is the current total. It doesn't really do anything to my happiness level if this is increasing or decreasing. The bottom goal is that I have things that bring me joy in whichever way that is. Alrighty, let's check back and see how this looks. I'm gonna probably have an actual proper currently inked video at some point in April, but you know, I just needed to talk this through with someone here, and you were the only ones available. See you again next time. Until then, bye.